Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Guy Dawson Show at WCOBM.com, the World Center of Broadcast Media, broadcasting live from the Gene Woods Racing Experience, which is just a stone throw from the Las Vegas Strip. My name is Guy Dawson, and I am the managing member of Classy Communications. It is a full-service public relations and advertising firm. If you would like more information about how to bring more recognition to your business, organization, or you individually, please contact me at 702-845-6129 or visit our website, classycommunications.net. To my left is the illustrious Kwan. Kwan, you are back for another Guy Dawson Show adventure. How are you?
For another hot show for the hot day.
That's like the hottest show on WCOBM.
Definitely today will be.
Along with being literally hot, we're having some weird weather in Las Vegas right now.
Weird, like people's mood.
There is a high humidity rate here in Las Vegas today, which is a rare thing in the middle of the summer here. We usually just bake in July and August.
You look like a toasted meat too. Look at me, I'm like, wow, highest humidity over my head to begin with.
Well, it's so wonderful to have you here. We were at that event last night for LVIP dining out at the Echo Rig Steakhouse. Wasn't that a great experience being there?
I enjoyed it. Such a good combination, such a great show. Who created that show, put everything together?
It was a collaboration of a lot of people. Three Square Food Bank and LVIP Dining put on an event last night it was just a great gathering of people to support ending hunger in Southern Nevada. And, it just turned out so well for their first event. They're going to be doing one per month, the Restaurant of the Month.
You might want to mention those special guests of the event.
We did. We had Mrs. Nevada, Jennifer Snowden, who came on the show a couple of weeks ago, was a special guest out there, as well as the CEO of Three Square. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Three Square CEO. I think they're doing wonderful things, helping starving children, kids in Las Vegas, help the poorest part of the world. When people grow in business and grow wealth, that's the part we should not forget. So we can helping each other as a big family. Everybody over there and here, we share the messages and help each other.
That's right. It's one. We are all one. We're all in it together, being inhabitants on this planet, and we're going to be giving you more updates about LVIP Dining as they're putting on these events and partnering with Three Square and some of the best restaurants in town. To my right is Chef Sharynne. So this is the educational edition of the Guy Dawson Show. And as all of you know who watch us on a regular basis, Kwan and I have a lot of fun in here. We interview businesses and personalities. However, every once in a while, we want to show a different side of the educational process. We have two somewhat controversial guests on our show today, and we're really looking forward to creating a platform for them to talk about things that are affecting our society that I think that other people ought to know about. Chef Sharynne is she's not really a controversial person. However, she has very strong opinions and a thought process about the way that some things go in relation to food, diet, nutrition in this country that I think people ought to know about, and a lot of great information that she's going to be sharing over the course of the next half hour. Chef Sharynne, I know you've been on other WCOBM shows, and it's a privilege to have you be a part of mine today.
Oh, thank you. Well, the other WCOBM was a different type of a show. That was more of like a demonstration to show people how easy you can make something that's a dessert, how quickly you can make it. Today is another story. We have an exciting topic we're going to talk about. My favorite topic, which is cancer.
Cancer and the causes, conditions, and you are going to be exposing some information, again, that could be a bit of a challenge to your programming and way of thinking. However, I would just encourage all of you to be open to a new idea about cancer.
Correct. And that's really what it's all about. It's just really, I just tell people when you listen even to my radio show, just have an open mind, because things I'm going to talk about are going to be counterintuitive to what you've learned, what you know, what your doctors told you. I am only a resource to get the thought process going. But many of the modalities and therapies that are being offered today to cancer patients are ultimately killing people because of the type of therapy. You cannot cure cancer with toxic medication. You cannot cure cancer with toxic medication. How cancer started in the first place was the environment inside your body was the exact perfect storm. So what we need to do is to go in and to correct the environment. If you have twins and they're both identical and both of them are being exposed to the same type of environmental stimulus, whether it's, chemicals, smoke, cigarettes, whatever, we have learned that epigenetics, which means above genetics, is what controls our body. Not your genes. Epigenetics. Epigenetics is a science that talks about the way we interpret signals coming into the body and how we assimilate them. An example, twins, identical born, same gene, same cellular, everything. You'll always notice one twin is always either more attractive, healthier. The other one is usually more sickly. All right? And why is that? It's the way they perceive their life. For example, if you have a twin, oh, well, she's prettier than I am, and mom likes her better than she likes me. So it starts that process, okay, of not having the confidence, starting to self-poison yourself, and then the woe is me. We have learned that our environment is what controls our genes. Our genes do not control us. However, there's a lot of money to be made if I say to you, Kwan, you have this disease and it's a genetic disorder and we really don't have a cure, but here, take this medication and we'll try to keep it suppressed so that it doesn't interfere much with your life. That's not the answer. We need to know what caused it, because the treatments that are used nowadays for cancer are chemo, radiation, and surgery. 97% of the time ineffective, with a margin of error of plus or minus 3, which means 100% of the time it doesn't work. Now, I'm not saying short term, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, it doesn't. And there are certain types of cancer that it may abate. But you have to understand that cancer is a blood-borne disease. It is not a tumor. If they find a tumor in your breast and the tumor is removed, don't think that cancer isn't somewhere else in your body, because it is. Because it's a blood-borne disease. If you remove the tumor in your breast, and we can talk about my favorite subject, Angelina Jolie, double mastectomy, because she showed the BRCA1 gene. Well, guess what? A lot of us have the BRCA1 gene. But if the environment isn't proper and isn't right to turn that gene on, remember we talked about a minute ago, environment? When Angelina's mother became ill with breast cancer, she internalized it. Now all of a sudden her epigenetics were being controlled by her mother and how she accepted mom's diagnosis. She took on that disease. Joan London, her mother, Alzheimer's. Okay, Joan London took on her mom's disease and now she's battling cancer. Okay, so a lot of it has to do with the way we accept information. Because I tell people all the time, if you don't think that the body can heal itself, then explain to me how people who have had cancer cured themselves naturopathically, holistically, if you don't think the body can heal itself. It cannot heal itself if you don't give it the proper tools and the proper nutrition so that it can do that, but most of us don't. Once you start your therapies of chemo, radiation, surgery, you lose your appetite. You don't want to eat. Food doesn't taste any good. So what's the possibility of you building up a strong immune system so that you can fight this disease? Slim to none. So you'll get 6 weeks, chemo, radiation, surgery. The doctor will then tell you, you're in remission.
Chef Sharynne, we're going to take a short break and come back because you just hit us with some pretty heavy information. We're going to take a short commercial break and be back in a few minutes with more of The Guy Dawson Show.